I would like to start out this video by telling you how glad I am that I came around to doing these videos in the first place, and how grateful I am that you're watching one of them right now. I learned more about this vintage mystery piece in the last few days of creating this video than I did in the last 3 years of owning it or having it in my collection. And I would like to take some time to talk about this FELCA Astovilla Automatic, or as it was called in one instance online, the Gargoyle. My name is Jan, and you're watching the TiME channel. So the first thing that I learned during my research on this watch for this video was that starting from 1919, the brand was initially named FELCO and founded by Fritz Schlüb in Grenchen, Switzerland. The brand name was only later named FELCA or FELCA, and it is now still in existence as a family-led company under the Titoni brand by Daniel Schlüb. The watchmaker, even though being rebranded, thus survived the Quartz crisis while being faithful to mechanical watches. That's quite an achievement and very rare among those companies from the 70s. This particular model was named the Gargoyle in one offering that I found online during my research. A nice nickname and quite fitting for this stoic piece, its unique shape and grey color scheme. So this watch has a very unique square or pincushion case shape, and it is 36 millimeters on each side without the crown, so a rather small piece in my collection, but it wears quite nicely even on my larger wrists since it has so many unique features. It has 18 millimeters lug width and a mineral glass and a stainless steel kind of bezel around here. The crown itself is a simple crown, so not screw down, but it has a branded crown on it, which is quite nice. About the bracelet, this is very interesting, and I only found out about it since I researched this watch for this video. And what I did is, I'm not very proud of it, but I actually Googled for, FELCA bent link bracelet. Via this rather simplistic approach, I found out that this is a bracelet from a manufacturer that also provided bracelets for other more well-known watch companies such as Jaeger-LeCoultre, Certina, Aquastar, or even Heuer. And they all have this very unique link shape in common, and it is actually very easy to switch out each single link in the bracelet to make it a very comfortable fit on your wrist. And another unique feature of those bracelets is, and they all have this in common, when you try to put them on, it's first, rather tight fitting, but it has an elastic mechanism within the clasp that makes it easier to put it on and gives it afterwards a very snug fit on your wrist. When you put it on, you close the clasp and it fits quite perfectly. So let's talk about this very beautiful dial in my opinion. And the whole watch and watch face has quite some depth to it. As you can see, there's quite a high rise from the dial towards the bezel, and additionally the large and high batons as hour markers give it quite some additional depth as well. And I think this is also a reason why someone felt inclined to give this the nickname the Gargoyle. And it has a nice red accent with the FELCA logo at 12 o'clock. You have your day date window at 3 o'clock, which is nicely framed with a stainless steel as well. And at 6 o'clock, you have your automatic writing here and a small 25 beneath it, which represents the 25 jewels that the movement is set upon. Of course, it also has the note down here that it is a Swiss-made watch, and it has a very interesting, I think, looking font here at 9 o'clock, which shows you that this is the Astovilla. Considering the hands, it has a white central second, which you see ticking away here, and the hour and minute hands have quite a bit of lume on them, but unfortunately, since it is a watch from the 70s, the lume has already deteriorated, so it is not possible to see anything in the dark on this watch. So let's have a look at the case back of the watch. And on it you can see the FELCA logo, additionally the model name Astovilla on it in the center, and around it are a few features mentioned of the watch, among them water and shock resistant, but I wouldn't count on the water resistant part since it's not a screw down crown. I think this would, well, at most translate to a 30 meters water resistance, so maybe some splash water would be fine. What is very interesting is that you can find a sort of reference number on it, the 10-126, but searching for it didn't lead me anywhere, unfortunately. What is also interesting is the Automatic mention here, and that refers to the movement, which directly leads me to the movement. So this is an ETA-based movement, so the 2790-1 Automatic movement. It is an automatic one with a frequency of 28,800 beats per hour and roughly a power reserve of 45 hours. So about the price, and unfortunately that remains kind of a mystery, because I only found two offerings of this exact model online, and they were both already sold and the price is taking off the website. So I was only able to find some similar looking watches from FELCA Titoni, so not FELCA but FELCA Titoni, with a pin cushion case and an automatic rotomatic movement. They had a different black dial and different hour markers, so not the same model at all. And they were very, very cheap, and I was surprised by that. They were sometimes below the 100 euro price point, which is crazy for an ETA-powered automatic watch from the 70s. Well, I guess the fan base for these ones is very small. But, well, of course, this one for me is priceless. It was a gift, and I just love how it looks, and it will remain in my collection forever. So I think mystery partially solved, at least. For me, during this research, I learned a lot about this very unique and I think very unknown brand and model from the 70s. I hope you enjoyed your visit with the Gargoyle. If you're interested in more unique watches, please consider subscribing. That would help a lot. And well, it certainly motivates me to do these videos. And see you in the next one. Bye.